Hello, Master Tax here and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to have a look at a battle from the Chinese Tier 7 Premium Light Tank. It is the Type 62. And as always, before we get into the action, I'll show you my crew and equipment that I'm currently using on this tank. My crew on this tank aren't too bad, all onto the 4th skill. It is my crew from my WZ132. The equipment I use in the special scouting slot is coated optics, then I've got vents and a gun rammer. So let's have a look at it in action. Today I'm playing on Kharkov. It's a standard battle and I've got the 6-9 matchmaking and I'm bottom tier today. So since I'm playing a light tank, I've got a scout. When I play this game, I see poor players in light tanks, and what they do is sit at the back or just support the mediums. While supporting the mediums isn't too bad, the problem is if they don't push further forward and spot, the mediums aren't going to be able to get shots into anybody. And especially when you get people that sit right at the back with the tank destroyers, so nobody's spotting. Just makes it a massive nightmare for your full team, especially if the enemy have got a decent player spotting. Now I've taken position in this bush and I've spotted a Barask, and I waited till some of my team fired at him, but only one hit him, and then I took a shot and pulled back. I was hoping that a lot more would hit him, but this is how I like to play in bushes. Then I wait till I'm not lit, then I'll reposition myself in the bush again, and there I've spotted a Centurion 1 at the back. Now I'm just waiting for my teammates to fire at him, but he has pulled back. So I'm just going to stop in position, see if I can re-spot tanks or spot new ones. And there's a Chiri. I've also spotted a Super Hellcat somewhere. So I'm waiting for my team. I fired some shots, and once he pulled back, I'd fire a shot and then pull back myself, but I didn't get spotted then. So I've repositioned in the bush again. Now it doesn't matter which type of spotting you want to do. You can be active, fly all around the map, which I do sometimes. I'm mainly set up for that. Or you could just do passive scouting, just sitting in bushes like this. I'm not ideally set up for this, but I can still do it since I'm a light tank. Now I did get spotted there and taken a shot, so I'm just pulling back till I'm not lit anymore. So as I was saying, active and passive scouting. The problem you've got by sitting in bushes, passive scouting, is if the enemy has got a wheeled vehicle, it is going to be active and he could spot you. So you do have problems like that. But if you are intending to just sit in a bush, make sure you have the right equipment on your tank to perform this job, like camo net and binoculars. As you know, as I showed you, I've got coated optics on this because I am expecting to be active. With this tank, it hasn't got the greatest camo ratings, 19.42 when I'm stationary, 4.85 when I'm firing, so it's not great. You do find that the lower profile and smaller tanks have got a much better camo rating and are more suited for sitting in a bush, but it's situational. I found that I need to sit in the bush at the moment, spot here, which is helping me team get shots into the enemy, and also with me positioned here, the enemy can't push too far forward and spot all my team members that's sitting on the hill sniping. So this tank, it is a premium tank, but I didn't actually buy it. I did build it while I was playing one version of the Clan Wars, so I got it for free basically. And what I find with it, it's a bit of a hybrid, bit of a light tank, medium tank. I do play light tanks now and again, but it's not my favourite type of tank to play, that is mediums or heavies. But I do like it just a change in game style and play light tanks now and again. Didn't like that shot from the IS there. So now I'm going to reposition. So now I'm going to do a little bit active scouting and have a look in the field. So I'll tell you about the mobility of this tank because it's not too bad, but with most tanks you'll find that. So I've got a top speed going forward of 60 kilometers an hour, and then you get a reverse speed of 23 kilometers an hour, which is really good. So I'm just going to peek at this corner. They are pushing the middle in the city. They're out of my view range, so I can't spot, but if somebody lights them up I might be able to get the odd shot into them. doesn't look like any of them's hitting, so I'm going to reposition again. Try and make sure them don't push towards our cap. Now there's lots of ways to set up a light tank now that we've got equipment version 2. But I set them up depending on how I prefer to play them, the gameplay I'd like to play in them. And this is basically set up like I would set up a medium tank, except I've got coated optics as my first skill. So that is a little bit boosted, where I would have it as a second or third skill on a medium tank. But I have put that coated optics in the first slot to boost it a little bit, because the key thing, as I was saying, about light tanks is spotting. So that is the main thing I want to be doing. And with my crew and equipment, I've managed to get my view range to 480 meters, which is really good. The maximum is 445, so I'm well above that. So now I'm pushing down this track in this trench, and my idea, my plan is to get to the bottom and see if I can spot what's on the hill just to my right. We've lost the city now, so what I want to do is try and help my team try and win the field. And if we've got the field, if the enemy push out into our cap, into our base, hopefully I'll be able to spot them and we'll be able to take them out. So I've just spotted a super Hellcat behind us. Tried a snapshot, it wasn't the greatest, but I bounced his shot, my track absorbed it. So now we're trying to push into cover, and I'm hoping that my team take the super Hellcat out. I'm getting plenty of assistance. He is just a one-shotter now, so I think I might turn around and take him out, because you don't really want a tank behind you. You want them all in front of you so you can use the bushes and spot. So I'm going to push straight into the trench again. I'm suspecting that he will be pushing back to come and try and get me, so hopefully I can beat him on the shot. Now don't get too overconfident in your light tanks, especially going in for a brawl like I am now, because you will come out worse, because your armor is really poor on light tanks. That's why the light. So there's the super Hellcat. I've lit him up again. I was hoping one of my teammates would take him out. I'm moving in and I have taken him out, so I don't have to worry about him anymore. So I'm going to push back down the trench back towards my base, see if I can light up the enemy that are trying to push the base, because they are very close to it now. The good thing about playing light tanks, with the decent mobility you get, you can adapt your plans really quick. Because I was going to push round the back of the enemy, that was my plan, but then I noticed that they're pushing our cap, so I thought I'd be best needed over here, spotting the enemy pushing the cap, and hopefully stop this. So that's another thing you have to be when you're playing a light tank. You've got to be very versatile, get the different areas, spot where you're needed, and make sure you can get to them areas and support your team. The best way in a light tank to support your team is by spotting the enemy. If you come up against enemy heavy tanks, you will struggle to penetrate them. You could switch to the gold ammo, but I don't like gold ammo, so I'm not bothering. And what I'm doing is going back to my plan that I did have about going around the back of the enemy medium tanks. So I'll tell you about the gun you get on this tank. It is only a 85mm. It has 145mm of penetration, which is poor, and you get 180 alpha damage. With my crew and equipment, I've got a reload time of 4.54 seconds, which is nice. Can I get a shot into that Centurion? There's a nice shot into him. Stop him in his tracks. There's another one into him. It's good I'm whittling his hit points down. Nowhere near with that one though. So back to the gun, as I was saying, a reload time of 4.54 seconds, which gives us a DPM of 2,378. But that reload time, although the DPM isn't the greatest, the reload time, you can track tanks in position and let your teammates take them out or damage them. So other stats on the gun, I've got an aim time of 2.11 seconds, which isn't the greatest, and my dispersion is 0.34, which is nothing special, it's about average, and I only get 5 degrees of gun depression. So I've made it through the trench. The heavies are still near our base. So I thought I'd try my plan of flanking round the back, and I think it's a good decision, especially when that Centurion is trying to push where my teammates are all camping. So I want to try and get round the back. There is a barrage, was in the middle, right on the edge of the map, so I'll peek through the bush, See if I can spot him. There he is. Can I get a shot into him? He's just sitting in the bush. Nice shot into him. Just pull him back. Probably he's got spotted. I did get spotted. Little snapshot, but he's behind a hill, so that's no good. So I'm just pulling back, but at least we know where he is. And now what I'm going to do is try and get behind this building and peek through these bushes. See if I can get the back of the Centurion. There's the Centurion. If I can take him out, my teammates won't be spotted on that hill, and that will help them a lot. There's another shot, still not penetrating. The penetration is really poor on light tanks. There's a shot in. I should penetrate the back of his tank. There's another one. He's a one-shotter. Is somebody going to take him out, or am I? Blind shot and managed to take him out. So now I want to get round the other side of the building, see if I can spot this Barask. Could be rushing us. Hopefully not, because he will take us out in one shot, even though he gets two. And I haven't spotted him yet. Now I'm not getting hasty and just pushing straight in, trying to find him, because my view range will be better than his, so I will spot him first. And there he is. I'm getting one shot into him. Can I get another? And taking him out. So failed one, and that's a great thing for us. Now we just have to spot where the enemy heavy tanks are. I'm just turning around and I'm going to peek through these bushes, just in case the enemy heavy tanks have decided to fall back and defend the base or flank round the back of me. So I'll just peek through these bushes, and I haven't spotted anything. So they could be hidden in the city, or they could be still next to our base. So what I'm going to do is head towards our base, and I'll tell you about the armour on this tank as I do. The armour on light tanks is always really poor, so try and not get into a brawl with a medium or a heavy tank, because you probably will lose. So the hull armour, you only get 35mm on the front, 20mm on the side and rear, so it's rubbish. And then the turret armour isn't much better. You get 45mm on the front, but it is rounded. Then 30mm on the side, 20mm on the rear. So the defender pushed into the cap. So I'm just trying to get into a bush, see if I can spot him. Both of them are there. 53 TP. Thought he was going to push out. They're hiding behind that pile of snow or rubble. So I'm going to relocate. I'm going to push right to the north of the map, and I'm going to make my way down the frozen river. It is lower ground, so they shouldn't be able to spot us. And then when I find a decent bush that's a lot closer, hopefully I'll peek in the bush and spot them. What I have done, I've changed to gold ammo, and that's just so I can make sure I penetrate and reset the cap. Although I hardly ever fire gold ammo, I will turn to gold ammo when it's important, like this. As you can see, our Barask's only got 16 hit points, so I've made my way into a bush and still haven't managed to spot. So I'm going to drop down, see if I can get a bit closer. And the Barask has taken out the 53 TP, so only the defender left, and I'm going to try and fly in. We've lost the Barask, the defender's loading. Hopefully I can penetrate with this. There he is, and taken out. Let's have a quick look at the stats. Was a class 1 badge, and we've got the Orlix medal, which you've got to destroy 2 or more enemy tanks or tank destroyers in a light tank in one battle. The enemy vehicle must be 1 tier higher. We destroyed 3 tier 8 tanks. Top of the tree for XP with a base XP of 1302. Third for damage, which isn't too bad in a light tank. We also got 2000 assistance. We made 110,000 credits, that's due to a personal reserve bonus. 9,180 XP, that's due to playing a premium vehicle, a personal mission payout, a personal reserve bonus, and an award for the first victory each day, which was at ×2. I'd like to thank you for watching today's battle. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. There's a little icon in the bottom right hand corner. And if you have any feedback, please could you leave it via the thumbs buttons in the comment section below. Cheers.